Minutes? That's a long time. I like Johnny.
More people aren't fucking.
How you guys doing this evening? Wow, this thing is
Jordan's
loud.
so
You guys having a good time?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm hearing a whole bunch of noise from up here, but I'm hearing nothing from back there. Are we having a good time this evening? Alright, good deal. It's a wonderful event they put together. The bands have been pretty good. You know, Icon
say
Hearts
great.
did a
You just say-
wonderful worship set.
You always
Thank
say
you
great.
very much for that.
This is pretty good.
Well, my name is JD, as we just said that.
Jordan, you're in the way.
It's easy for me to remember, that's why I shortened it.
Sorry, JD.
I'm up here to talk a little bit about myself, and I'm going to tell you about the most wonderful thing that I've ever done in my life and that's ever happened to me. I'm going to tell you, it's just been an amazing journey. I started off, let's see here, my career. When I was 12, I took a van out for a high-speed police chase. Yes, yes. Apparently you cannot go 90 miles an hour around a 90-degree turn with a 2-ton van. It just doesn't work out too well, just for you guys to know in the future. That'll work. I was constantly in and out of the DH. By the age of 12, I was already drinking, I was doing drugs, I was smoking, I was fighting, I was having sex, I was doing it all. I hated life, I hated myself. No. I was constantly in and out of the juvenile detention homes. They had a cop that was there for me. They knew me by name. No, it was almost like a second home to me. I had so much anger inside myself, so much hate. Sorry. Sometimes it's hard to talk about. You know, getting up in the morning was hard. I kept asking God, or if at the time I didn't know if there was a God, but I kept saying, why am I here? I'm worthless. I hate life. There's no point in this. Tried to commit suicide. I was a cutter. I have scars up and down my arms, burns from when I burned myself. You know, constantly fighting. When I was 18, I dropped out of school as soon as I could. Hated being in school. It was a waste of time. Had no ambitions, no plans for my future. I wasn't going anywhere. I was living out of my car. Every morning, I'd be waking up in my car. The first thing that would go through my mind was, how do I get money to get high so that I could escape this reality that I lived in? So once I got high, it seemed like everything would be fine, but it just kept making life worse. Kept stacking up. As soon as I turned 19, went out with some friends. We were partying, and we went out and did a robbery. And I was a getaway driver. They went in, and 2 people were shot and killed. That was the wake up in my life. Ended up going to jail. I'm going to tell you about jail. That place right there, you lose all identity. You mean nothing anymore. They give you a tag, they give you a number, they don't care about you. You're like an animal in a zoo. They have a holding area, and that's where you stay at. And I'd say it's just a little bit bigger than this stage. And they put 12 people in there, 6 bunks. You got 2 toilets that are right here against the wall. No wall in between it or anything, and they have a little phone that's about 2 feet away from the toilets. Really convenient. And somebody's talking on the phone, and you're going to the bathroom. The bars were here in the front, and all the time people would be coming in from different colleges and different things like that to check out the prisons. They gave you no notice. You'd be sitting there in the bathroom, and there's just a group of people just walking in, looking at you. You lose all dignity. Well, I was in there and I wanted to escape. I wanted to get out. So I went to chapel. It was one of the few things that they had that would let you get out of the cell. So I went down there, and some big black guy that sounded like James Earl Jones was down there, and he had a book. You know, you could not ignore this guy. And he would get there in your face. I couldn't tell you a thing he said, but I mean, I just remember going, geez almighty, I did not want to get on the bad side of this guy. But I remember something stirred in me. So I went into the cell, and I picked up my Bible. They had these little Bibles that they give away in prisons. It's a wonderful ministry that they do, and it does make a difference. So I picked up this Bible, and I was intrigued about it. Well, I came upon the verse that says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can tell that mountain to get up and move, and it'll get up and move. Cool. God's like a magic genie. I believe in him. Rub the lamp a little bit. He's going to grant my wishes. I'll be out of prison. I got this locked. So I started getting in there, and I started praying and fasting and doing all these things that the Bible tells me I should do, and kept praying to God, let me out of prison. Bars will move, I'll walk out of prison. Lawyer comes to me, tells me, you can do about 3 years. Wow. Well, a little bit of time later, lawyer comes to me, says you can do about 6 years. So I go into court to get sentenced. Judge says, you're getting 10 years. So I was pretty angry at God. I said, this whole thing is not worth it. It's not real. I threw it down. But that's the thing about God. Once you start looking at him, once you start asking him into your life, he's still there. Even if you try and turn away from him, he's always there. Always in the back of your mind. Always in your heart. It took me about 7 years before I picked the Bible back up and really started getting into it. The funny thing is, when I came to the Bible, well, I'd done most of my time, so I had no real reason to, ulterior motives. I had a family out there, I had a job, I had everything waiting for me. I picked up the Bible truly to start seeking God out, because I wanted to change something in my life. I didn't want to keep doing, I didn't want to keep having that emptiness. I didn't want to keep waking up wondering, why am I here? I knew there had to be more to it.